What's up, y'all? Yo, I'm up tonight. Tomorrow's President's Day. We ain't got to go to work tomorrow. So get on the hill. Whew, man. I'm gonna give y'all a minute. 'Cause I think the algorithm's kind of moving my videos a little slow. But so far, thank y'all so much. Those of you who've been checking out the videos on my YouTube channel. Checking out the videos on my YouTube channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, also, those of you who've been subscribing, thank you. And also, I can use y'all to, you know, you know, share the videos. It's okay, good. Yeah, So, yeah. I'm up tonight, so let's talk about it. I'm gonna give y'all a minute. I'm gonna sip on the tea while y'all sad. Y'all, I guess get to the algorithms and let you know that I'm in here. That's cool. Yeah. So, but anyway, this is Black. For those of you who've been living under a rock, this is Black History Month. I know people have their complaints about it, and Black History is every day. We get that, but you know what? Hispanics are here every day as well, but they still have Hispanic Heritage Month. And then what they got LGBT, they're here every day, all year round, but they were able to horn in June on our month, other month, Black History Month. I'm sorry, Black Music Month. So how come when it comes to black people, everybody seem to have some smoke? Whatever we do, everybody seem to have a problem with it. They really want us to be downtrodden and fucked up in this country. Everything. Even the immigrants, people who are not even born here, just got here in the 60s or got here in the 70s, just got here in the 80s and 2000s, got something to say about black Americans, foundational black Americans. And then you got an old fool who allegedly dated his own granddaughter, Morgan Freeman. Why do you want about race? You want to end race? Stop talking about it. You ever hear such nonsense? What an old baboon. Stop talking about it. Stop recognizing me as a black man, and I won't recognize you as a white man. Oh God. Every time I hear that old Negro, you know, yeah, Morgan Freeman. That's what he says. Stop talking about it. We're going to raise the hand. Stop talking about it. Well, it's an old comfortable Negro. We've always had old comfortable Negroes, old comfortable blacks. So I don't mind any special recognition. Because black folks we've really done a great job and America look good. Of all of the things that have been done to us, we're still here. There's some slip ups along the way. We can be doing a lot better. But no one else, no other group, none of these immigrants that come here and bless their hearts, they could not have survived the shit that we went through, that our ancestors, our people in America have gone through. They couldn't. Happy birthday, Cynthia. Who's that? Cynthia Bronner. Happy birthday, sweetheart. So how old are you going to be? How old are you going to be in 1 hour? She says, my birthday is in 1 hour. So how old are you going to be? So, so I don't pay attention when people just hating on us. It has to be because of the lineage. It has to be because of the genetics, like it's always been, the phenotype. You're going to be 18. Well, goddamn, I got some youngsters on here. What's up? I look at the analytics. All my people started, I think, my folks started at 45 to 65. Then a decent percentage is 25 to 35. But when it says 18 years old and up, people down out. It's barely to surface. I don't have any young people on here. I'm talking to a lot of grown folks, but welcome. Happy birthday, sweetheart. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I hope you have a good birthday tomorrow. And so, but anyway, and so like you said, like you retracted the message. Okay. So anyways, I was saying Black History Month. Black History Month is our responsibility. Did y'all know that? Carter G. Woodson, the father of Black History. I think it was Black History Week, then it expanded over years to month, but We have to celebrate Carter G. Woodson. He wrote the phenomenal book, and it's still very relevant today, called "Miseducation of the Negro." I've had a case like one that were closer to the original, and I lent them out. Don't lend y'all books out. Whatever you do, if you have a library, don't. When people say, "Hey man, let me borrow that book," don't give it to them, man, because their lazy ass can go and get the book the same way you got it. You bought it. Back then, but when I got all my books, they had a thing called bookstores. But now y'all go to Amazon and wherever, and then you have the what's the one about how you can read it on your phone. But I love having my library of books. So yeah, and I bought those with the daggum bookstore. You know, the bookstores back then in the 80s and the 90s, the bookstores, you could sit there and have coffee, maybe buy some cheesecake, and they did poetry sets in bookstores. They were wonderful. What's up, Anthony? What's up, Logan? How you know? Yeah, they it was bookstores, so don't lend your books out. Well, people aren't asking to borrow books that really teach them these days, so don't worry about that. But yeah, I even had a beautiful leather bound autobiography of Malcolm X. I let a neighbor use it. No, I'm just trying to be cool. No, damn well he don't know it. He don't eat. But he just he was having a conversation about Malcolm X and me being helpful. I said, yeah, I have this because I love passing information along. And I gave that son of a bitch. This was like 40. What was about 57? So about close to 40 years ago, about 37, I get to do that book. It was a valuable book. But then, the way I got it wasn't cool anyway, so it was destined to leave my hands. And I'm sure after I lent it to him, he put it on his dresser and never had it again. So so don't lend your books out. And so the books that I have from a lot of our African centered scholars that I actually have autographs. I got their autographs. I have pictures with the folks who I bought books that I bought. Like Dr. Frances Welsing, I have her autograph and a picture of her in that book. I think Naeem Akbar, I have his book. Brother Neely Fuller, I have his book and I have a picture with him and his book. Brother by the name of Dale Jones. He wrote The African Holocaust. Yeah, I'm looking. It's a little thin red book I bought when I was in college, undergrad at Grambling. Shout out to Grambling State University. They're doing some cool stuff in my school, but they still need some recruitment there. Uh, need some black male students there. Well, that's a crazy species, though. And so yeah, a lot of my books I can't lend them out because whenever I buy a book, if I get it from the author, I get an autograph and I get a picture and I put their picture in or but with the autograph in the book. So I can't lend my books. I'm not going to lend any of my books out. They're prized treasures. And so valued treasures, if you will. But yeah, Black History Month is our responsibility, black people. Please go ahead and hit that like, share, hit the like button for me. I just saw a post, my hometown of Memphis, a lady put up there. It's like, damn, all the leadership. Memphis is 64% black, but there are no on the Memphis City website, and I guess in leadership, elected officials, they don't have any Black History Month events on the schedule. And I said, well, in my hometown of Memphis, all they care about is entertaining the hood and the ratchetness of the blacks in my hometown. So they don't care about that anymore. And while we're not paying attention, hell, they doing more things in our this Black History Month than Black History. I hope we don't expect to get the corporate uh, sponsorships. We have 45 million blacks. We should be responsible for getting the word out or celebrating our own damn month. Hispanics don't ever ask them, hey, y'all need to recognize. They go and get those corporate sponsors and ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, everybody, they be on board. LGBT. But black people, we seem to have this struggle. And the struggle is not because corporate America won't recognize it, we won't recognize it. Yeah, we know there's a whole lot of there's so many books that's got facts and statistics and we don't even dig in and hell, teach our own ass or educate our own selves. So we can't expect, like Malcolm X said, you can't expect the enemy to teach your children. Only a fool would do that. Rest in peace, Malcolm X. Just could talk. What would they say? So, you know, And they're doing so many things. Oh, let's see. Kai, he said, what are you talking about right now? The title of this live is Black History Month. And by the way, if you're not black, I am a black content creator on YouTube, Foundational Black American, and I talk to black people, our issues, but everyone's allowed to come in and have a little say or put comments. I don't mind. But the title of this live, Kai, it is Black History Month is our responsibility. When I say our, I mean black people, foundational black America. So that's what I'm talking about. And it is, because it's the truth. Anything about us is our responsibility. And we seem to be lacking. It's like, I've never seen such a thing. We're trying, it's almost as if we're leaving it into the hands of other people who don't really care for us to do celebratory things for us or about us. That's dumb. But we're going to get it together. We're going to get it together one of these days and understand if Black History Month dies or it seems to be dying, um, um, it'll be our fault. Because one thing you can't take from somebody is what's in their minds. And we're very creative. We concentrate on so many other things. It's almost as if, like Black History Month, it's not even a big deal this year for some reason. Now, and if you haven't been paying attention, they corporate America has been in corporate news and corporate media. They've been focusing on this. Ain't got a damn thing to do with Black America. On and on. That shit in the bud. And by the way, it's okay to like Bad Bunny. It's more than okay to have enjoyed or enjoy his halftime performance. Yeah, it's okay. For those of you thinking that people just hating on it, well, they have valid reasons. This is an English first country. You can't no, you can't go to a Spanish speaking country and do a whole American thing. Like their Super Bowl or one of their soccer games and do a halftime and then everything American and then wave your American flag like they ain't shit in their country. But America allows that because America, like Roger Goodell said, they want to appeal to those voters. They want to get more of those voters. I'm sorry, they want to get more of those folks involved in the NFL. So it's a very capitalistic move. But one thing is not cool, Bad Bunny enthusiasts and Bad Bunny lovers, you didn't have to lie. In the words of the hood girlfriend and from the iconic cultural phenom movie Friday, you didn't have to lie, Craig. Y'all gonna lie about the halftime numbers of Bad Bunny. ESPN had already put it out, but y'all gonna lie and put it up. Some other little non-ESPN outlets gonna put out that Bad Bunny halftime, those 15 minutes, got garnered 135.4 million views, and that's not true. It's not true at all. Just to say they outdid Michael Jackson and outdid Kendrick Lamar. No, no, no. You got to come better than that now. He did a 128.4.5 million. And that's like fourth. He's even under Usher because Usher's halftime was awesome. Michael Jackson's was goddamn it phenomenal. And Kendrick, I love Kendrick's halftime. Loved it. And so Bad Bunny, he did his thing. It was okay. It's a bit off of Kendrick if you look at the statics of it. But he did okay. Had his messages, his agenda, had all that like all Super Bowls. I'm kind of ready for it to get back to like Super Bowls. You can have pop, rock, soul. To get back to that. So that's what they wanted to do. They thought we was gonna take that through a whole Black History Month. That's what they wanted. And so, but that didn't. That lasted week. We nipped in the bud. I love social media. I love social media because social media evens out the bullshit really quickly. So again, foundational Black American entertainers still killing it. Regardless of if we look like we're in bad shape, it looks like we're at the bottom of a lot of statistics, still killing it. That's what makes us so great. And people be hating on black folks. My God, hating. Even a lot of the negative statistics that surrounding our community in this country, still rising to the top like a phoenix from the ashes. Oh, glory, hallelujah. Oh, take the wheel, Jesus. Still doing it. I get mad at my people, but I can't help it. I still love you, goddamn it. Ain't nothing you can do about it, black folks. And we need to keep the spirit amongst each other. So Black History Month can't die unless we do it. It's our responsibility. Now let me see. Now they want to talk about want us to be concentrated on the SAVE Act, and black people are too dumb to get IDs. We're not worried about that either. See, everything that they're throwing at us to try to, in corporate media, they're the ones who say fuck Black History Month. They've done it. Don't give a shit. They're not supposed to. 44 million black people live in this country. We're supposed to be the ones, just littering up the social media, our Facebook pages, and TV One and our little networks bounce. We're the ones supposed to be pushing it out there. We need to keep this up. Get back to it. Get back to what matters in Black America. Particular policies. Our celebration of ourselves. Stop with this goddamn multicultural intersectionality nonsense. People you try to multicultural with, you try to intersectionalize with, they don't give two shits and farts from a frog's ass about Black America and black people. They don't, because this thing is business. Dr. Anderson says race is a group effort. It's a race for resources, a race for positioning. And we so busy, we let these civil rights leaders and these Democrat leaders get us caught up in some goddamn multiculturalism. And there's nothing wrong with that. I love going to mixed clubs because they have fun, partying. And a Latina and a cute little South Asian can get it socially. I'm cool with everybody, but I'm just like all these other groups. I tend to focus on what's important to us, like you're supposed to. It's sociology 101. Sociology is a study of groups, the behaviors in groups, mores, folkways. But we don't seem to understand that. Everybody else is being appropriate in this country, except for foundational Black Americans or former African Americans. We worry about everybody else's stuff. We're paying attention. Our children can't even read. Our children can't even read. We say, well, the public schools are funded. Okay, so what? You don't read, you can't teach your child to read. Oh, we supposed to spend about $1 trillion or something in this country. I mean, we can't get $3 million to build a school for our kids and hire our own teachers to teach our kids how to read, write, and do math. We're responsible for our own survival in this country, but we've done a piss poor job. Black children can't even read. Not all, but too many. Y'all see the numbers. Black boys out here running wild. Black girls running wild. Teenage girls. Let me tell y'all something. With this Kai says, I love what you're doing. Thank you. But you gotta go. All right. Good night. So it's our responsibility. And what I'm talking about doesn't mean you dislike anybody else. And guess what? They do what they do within their group, and they still come out and kick it with us. They still come and smoke weed, dance, listen to rap, have sex with us, everything. But we can't seem to go and have sex with them, smoke weed or whatever, and still, as old folks would say, tend to our business. We neglect our business to hang out with others. Dr. Claude Anderson has a whole video that describes his statement, inappropriate behavior. We practice a lot of inappropriate behavior as foundational Black Americans in this country. We have yet to build a fence. In Black History Month, the people are saying, "Oh, it don't seem like Black History Month." Where's our responsibility? We don't talk about our history makers in this country for the past at least 150 years in this country. We don't talk enough about them because we stopped reading. I said in previous videos, Black folks stopped reading books in 1998 because bookstores start falling apart. A lot of stuff that's going on in America, we can do. We can redo it. We can invest in bookstores. I know, goddammit, somebody's gonna say, well, people ain't going to bookstores buying books. They getting stuff offline. But how come half off books stay crowded all the goddamn time? If people aren't going to bookstores, how come half off books? Y'all know what I'm talking about? Barnes and Noble's closed. But I'm not talking about Barnes and Noble's per se. We had our own bookstores in our own neighborhoods. I'm from Memphis. Memphis had at least about 3 bookstores that I know, and we had events in them. We got to know each other. We were very intellectual. I miss that kind of conversation with other blacks. I miss that. And you met a lot of, cute women. Sweet, feminine, intelligent, articulate women. Not college educated assholes. But women who also read They Came Before Columbus, or White Man's, Black Man's White Faces, Fans Fanon. They know about Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, and just talk about, race in a way that's beneficial to us and not accusing us of anything. I miss having those bookstore, coffee shop conversations with other black men and black women. I miss those days. And you know what? We can bring those back. But as the old preacher would say, we've become so worldly, we've left ourselves behind. It's like the integration movement that happened. Thanks to those damn civil rights leaders. That old integration, social integration, and all that assimilation and all that nonsense. And we assimilated and integrated and left our stuff behind. And everything dilapidated and gone. And we just act like we don't remember none of that. We're probably not acting. So we are responsible for Black history. You know, and there's so much nonsense that's going on. TD, what's up, man? What's going on? You know what I said, man? We are responsible for Black History Month. We are. We should be talking about it. Add to it. You may not be proficient in like the history of the scholastic history, but you know the history of music. You know something about that. No, some people know the history of land ownership in this country. There's history. Our participation in this country historically. That's what it is. There's plenty of books out there, but we won't read books. That's how we got. That's how we came through. But after 1998, black folks stopped reading books. And that's why we're so behind. Why people just can say anything to us. But thank goodness we have a lot of sharp people on social media to get on and man, get the work done and take care of that. But the masses of us need to catch on. There's really no reason why in 2026 aren't enough black schools, black academies to accommodate black boys and little black girls. Why y'all still sending y'all children to these schools and having their self-esteem attacked? We are responsible. We are responsible. We're responsible. And we're going to have to learn to take responsibility for our own existence in this country. We don't even know how to demand things from the government that is due to us. Everybody pays taxes, but everyone else seems to be benefiting by the millions of black people also pay. Y'all think people got rich just because they're really smart? No, they understood that the biggest contractor in this country is the United States government. And we let folks talk us out of it. That shit is crazy. Ransom said, yeah, there is so much great history that was changed and forgotten. Yeah, you're right. What's that? Mad Rush, you're correct. It's wild. But we put scholarship down. That's how we're losing a lot. We need our scholars. We need our today's Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. Where is our Dr. Naeem Akbars of today? Because it's so bad out here that silly ass Dr. Umar thinks he's the only intellectual. That's how bad it is. Where is today's Dr. Naeem Akbar, Dr. Amos Wilson, Dr. Julia Hare, Dr. Nathan Hare? Where are our scholars? Why aren't they being promoted on our Facebook pages? Why aren't they being introduced to our children? Why aren't HBCUs talking about, who's that said? Tammy said, because she said, Tammy said, men has become women. This mean men have. Hey, yo, bro, my girlfriend cheated on me with my dog. Okay, the trolls are here. But y'all go ahead and hit that like while y'all here, even with those troll statements. But but look, they've done so much in Black History Month that it's not even Black History Month. You know, let me share some with y'all. Right, let you know how behind, how Black history. And they said, well, Black history is American history. LGBT is American history too. Hispanic, that's American Hispanic heritage. Well, that's American history too. Didn't they fight Spanish American War? Well, see, everything is so specific to us. Yeah, it's black history as well as American history. But they don't want that taught in the books, remember? So what the fuck y'all talking about? They trying to kill that. Even with that, the people in Florida and even in Texas. Oh yeah. They trying to call slaves indentured workers up at 5 o'clock every day and went home to families. This shit is crazy. This shit is crazy. But you know what? Who's still responsible for telling the truth? We are. Me and you, black folks. I don't give a damn what they take out the books. We wrote a lot of books. And you got black kids you're supposed to have in schools you're supposed to be teaching. See, what has happened is, and it's unfortunate, we've turned our children over to the enemy of black folks to educate your children. Malcolm X told y'all that. It's funny how we pick certain quotes from Malcolm to benefit whatever situation that we want to, I guess, put extra emphasis on. Like modern women today would love to say, "Oh, Malcolm X said the black woman is the most unprotected, the most disrespected." But how come we don't never say? How come we don't go to the quote that says, "Any man that gives his children over to the enemy to educate them is a fool." And that's all we do is chunk our kids in these public schools, knowing that they take $1,000 every 30 minutes away from them damn schools. I'm just, I'm a substitute teacher in these schools. Let me tell y'all, the numbers are not lying. These kids cannot. They can barely, reading is not a thing. And the teachers are pretty much just working to get PTO. Not all, but too many. A lot of dedicated teachers, but schools where these black kids are, mm-mm. Nope. Let me tell you what I do in my class. I whenever I go in, I take a job and I'm going to sub for a class. Uh, who's that? Tammy says most blacks have no idea about Mansa Musa. I heard that they were trying to do a movie on Mansa Musa. Yeah, he said they don't know how to count either. Yeah, a lot of students. This not just black kids, cause it's an American issue. It's not just black folks' problem. But I'm talking about black kids. Um, a lot of them don't know how to count. You put a if you put a cash register in front of them without the food on there and all that, like they used to do back in the day, just go and add it. Man, look at you like you crazy. You gonna start, a rebellion, not the good kind. And so, I I go into class, wherever class I'm in. I say, hey, I don't mind y'all talking, but you may not talk loud up in here, because talking loud gets on my nerves. Number two, you may not walk around up in here, because all that gets on my nerves. So have a seat, talk softly or low to the person sitting next to you. Number four, there's absolutely no cursing in this class at all. And finally, you may not use the N word or you will be put out of this class. And I would tell them, I don't know what the policy is on kicking kids out of class in this day of education, 26, 25, 20. But me and the principal are going to get into the N word over here. You are leaving. No questions asked. Dr. Halls, here, I don't give a damn what you do. You're not going to be up here and disrespect me or my race up in this damn class. And guess who the biggest violators of that? Mexicans, Hispanics. The blacks are there too, right there. But the Hispanics and the Mexicans, they holler N-word. And let me tell y'all what I said to them. And whenever I say no, you may not curse, they're like, oh. When I tell them no, you may not use the N-word, the Hispanics look around and Then the black kids next, like, how come you can't say that? Everybody said that. I said, oh, that's very interesting. And I would tell them, I said, it's very interesting. Isn't it interesting how y'all know, no, it just rolls off the tongue? 'Cause they were saying, some of them told me, it's hard. It's kind of hard. You know, it's just like it rolls off the tongue. I said, isn't it interesting that the N word just rolls off y'all tongue, but racial slurs attached to other racial groups, you wouldn't dare go there? Like the F word for gays, or K word for Jews, or D word for white folks, and even slant eye for Asians, or none of that. None of the slurs. And they look at me like, there's, isn't that interesting that y'all know not to disrespect no other race, but you wake up in the morning to disrespect black folks, and the room gets completely silent. I know I'm breaking some laws. Thou shalt not educate the youth. I know. And then as soon as I say my little part, all of a sudden they have these little speeches that they say to the students. Well, today, students, we're gonna learn about diversity and respect all cultures and all this. And they walk up and down the hall hollering N-word, and not one teacher stops them. Hey, don't do that. Yeah, the word's banned, but it's up to black people to do it. And I mean really do it. Because first you gotta teach your children, and then we have to two things. Get on these black rappers and get on these Jewish owned record labels who pay them to say it. And then you teach your children about history. You know, that's how it works. And so, because first thing the Hispanics said, the Mexicans said, well, black people say it too. And I tell them right in front of the black kids are stupid. They're ignorant. They don't know their history. That's why they say it. But you know, so you might need to help them out. And then they all just look up and get this little sour look on their faces. Listen, I don't care. I'm not going to sit here and play games with y'all in here. And I said, but as soon as y'all leave my class, y'all can go back to regular scheduled programming. But up in here, we'll be respectful of all groups. I mean all groups, that includes blacks. And let's all be cool. I said, look, we're going to have a good class, relax, and just have a good class. Because a lot of teachers, and I watch them every day. I stand in the hall because you have to stand in front of your door as they're passing through, and, you know, they give us that, who's that? Take them to church. They go to church, man. Man, they go to church. Shit. Church ain't teaching them nothing except for give their tithes and come to Jesus. But they ain't teaching no history, no self-respect and dignity. They're too busy hating on men and uplifting single motherhood. But anywho, so and so I stand there and I look at all the teachers and they holler, yeah, N-word, yeah, N-word. Now mother lover N-word. They cuss and holler N-word, and the teachers don't budge. But if those kids were yelling, no, F-word and the Jewish slur and Asian slurs, I'd probably have to pull teachers off them students. And most of the teachers are Caucasian and others. And you have some blacks there too, like schools. But they don't mind. And I told the kids, I said, it's interesting because, see, I hear y'all in the hall, and those other teachers don't care what y'all say. But up in here, you will not use that word. And we can have a wonderful class. You know, Mr. Rivers love kids. But you will not disrespect me up in here. And we have a great class. They talk low. Now, I've had a few knuckleheads. I've had to put some Mexican kids out. Had to put them out. One Mexican, an 8th grader, called me a boy. Called security right on his ass and got him put up out of my class. I'm not playing with them. People, you know, that's the problem. They've coddled these little brats. You know, and I thought about it, but I never said, yeah, you need to get ice in this month. I thought about it. That's so easy to go to. You know, but I'm not going to do that. Because they learn at home, but I don't give a damn. They should also, but no, just say it in the house. Don't say it in here. But there's a little 8th grade, this 14, 13-year-old Mexican kid called me a boy. Yep. He said it in a way in which it was said to grown black men in the 1900s. Boy. And I didn't even say what you say. I got right on the phone. They got phones now. I called security and got him out and 2 others. Get out of here. Y'all don't want nothing anyway. And then another time at another school, I had 2 Mexicans and a black boy. He yelled out N-word. I said, okay, you call security, got them out of here. I don't play with these brats. No, they get it from home. I already know that speech. They should have kept it at home. But other than that, I have great class, and they're pretty cool. Something is fun. I don't bother them. They don't bother me. And I don't mind. Again, I don't mind them talking. And let you know just how far behind black kids are. Uh, he said, how can class be good without education? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. I would have gotten put out your class the first 5 minutes. Well, damn it, that's right. Cause I don't play that. Who's this? It says, preach, Brother Rico. Let them know what we go through. Yeah. And I just let them know that, and then I just have a seat. I call the roll up here. Don't talk when I'm calling the roll, damn it. I don't say damn it. I said, look, when I'm talking, let me tell you what I say. I come in. I said, first of all, I come in. I say, good morning, everybody. Then they run around. Then I say, immediately after I say good morning, I have to say it. Have a seat. They look around and said, have a seat. They get to scrambling and sitting their little asses down. Then somebody come in late, walking in late. They come in with a backpack full of, I don't know what the hell, like they going on vacation, these big ass backpacks. And then come in, and then they want to talk to the students. I'll say, hey, you late, sit down. And everybody look like, oh shit. They sit down and roll eyes first. I don't care about that. That doesn't bother me. You can roll your eyes, but you did what I told you to do though. Yeah, roll their eyes and everything. Like, who you talking? I'm talking to you. Because the teachers in these middle schools and high schools kiss these kids' ass. And so, but I don't go and exert any authority about them. No, not in this class. You can have your day the way you want to, but from 9 to 10:50 or 9 to whatever the hour and 20 minutes we're here, you will act like you're a civilized young person. You will. And so, and I go to my desk, I call the roll, and some people try to don't try me when I'm calling the roll. I'll stop and say, excuse me. You heard what I said, no talking. And I've gone so far to give this speech. I'll say, I would prefer you not to talk as I'm calling the roll because I really enjoy my voice. This is the only voice I want to hear as I'm calling the roll, except if you say here or someone's not here, or say not here. And I said, I had to work hard to get this voice. I had to go through adolescence. I had to go through puberty, high school, and college, and this is the result, and I like it. And I enjoy hearing it. And I said, hell, I should have been called announcer for the NBA, or at least on one of these Grand Theft Auto videos. They just started laughing. So just to break it up a little bit, I said, yeah, and then I'll tell one of the little guys that's smirking or like, what? And I said, yeah, just keep growing up, son. You may develop a voice this cool. Just keep growing up. And that kind of breaks the ice, and then we just kind of move on, but let me tell y'all recently what I witnessed. When I told them no N-words, but it's little black girls, right? 9th grade, 10th grade. I think there was a 9th grade class. The 9th grade is awful. The 7th and 8th grades are rough, but these damn 9th graders, if I have a class of like 10th, 11th, and 12th, I'm in heaven. Because they just down, they do their thing. Man, who just said, Mr. Rogers said he was playing video games. Let me see. I once had a really smart student smack my hand because I closed the laptop. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, brother. And he said, Mr. Rogers, he said he was playing video games on the school laptop. So what did you do? Let me know what you did when he slapped your hand, because damn, you're supposed to call the police, because any physical assault, if you didn't grab his hand and break it, you're supposed to call. Hope you called the officer and got him kicked out the class. You can also get them arrested, call the police. Do everything you need to do. If they push you or they hit you, go to call security, file charges, get rid of this shit, because they're terrible. Called our leader, let me see, what you say? Called the leader teacher and she pulled him out. Okay, because sometimes, and when they pull them out, they just go let them have a seat in the attendance office. I've gone to attendance office. The people who skip my class, they sit in the damn attendance office. They called the student out of school. Well, what you should have done was call the police and filed assault charge. Because the schools are about the numbers. I'm going to get in that in a minute. We still talking about Black History Month, but y'all know I go off on a tangent. And I think y'all got my point when I'm saying we're responsible for Black History Month. No one else. And so, yeah, you should have, call security, call police, have them come up to the school, and file charges on that little bastard. Because see, if like you've seen too many videos where a teacher tried to be the adult and let some big ass kid hit them or push them around, you know what's gonna happen? Let's say that happened and you try to cover up and let the kid hit you and all that. I know that's a child. I'm 40 years old. I'm 50 years old. That's a child. That child gonna get you go viral. It's gonna go viral getting your ass whooped. Kick that kid's ass. If you're not gonna kick his ass, let him push you. Run out of the classroom, tell the principal you get on your cell phone and call the police. Have that little bastard arrested. And then, because what's going to happen is, once you let the child kick your ass, you try to, well, I'm grown, that's just a child. They're going to call you in the office, talk to you like you a dumbass, after you hold your eye, or hold your ribs, or hold your arm, your swole wrist. They're going to talk to you like a dumbass and hurt you. So you might as well go out with a bang. They're going to pull those phones out. At least you can put on the cell phone going viral, putting a 2 pieces of pep on their ass. Whoop that kid's ass. Smack the crap out of them. Body slam his little ass. If they so angry they can think they can physically assault you, kick that little bastard's ass. I promote that. I encourage that. But I also encourage, if they have the cell phone, don't touch it. Don't touch it. I never touched. I don't even go near them with that damn cell phone. You know what I do in class? I tell them this to the schools that don't take it up when they walk into school. I say, hey, the state of Texas, the state legislature passed a law back in June of 2025 saying that it is against the law to have cell phones on the premises of schools. And if should you break that law, it will penalize the school. So I know you don't want to get your school penalized, right? And I see phones going into pockets, going in their backpacks. But you know what? It's not 100%. Because my thing is, as long as you're quiet and you're not blatant with it, just blazing with it. Oh, no, I see them have it on they have it on their little desk and looking. As long as, hey, I'm trying to get through this class period. They're not misbehaving, they just sneaking. But also, they use the cell phones to text. Because all of a sudden now, do you know that when a child comes to you and asks, high school, whatever grade, but particularly the middle school and high school, when they say, hey, can I use the restroom? You have to let them out. You can't say no. And I'm telling you, why would you say no? Go on. Because you know the system. Why would you tell them no? Don't try to exert no discipline on them little brats. The school already got it set up. And that's why they act the way they act. They're not going to get punished for anything, so don't you get into the business of trying to correct or punish. No. Your job is to maintain a little peace in the class for that 50 minutes or the hour and 25 minutes that they're in your class. That's how I get through the day. So easy. And I don't try to exert any philosophy. I don't try to teach them anything. Now, so a kid ask me a question and they're engaged, I'll share some stuff with them. Make sure nothing to just, talk about stuff. I'll do that, but I don't go far. Because the principals, the teachers, they're all trying to cover their own ass. They're not trying to lose their jobs. And when a lot of these schools, on Fridays, they have about 30 subs. These teachers they're taking their PTOs. In the middle of the school year, these motherfuckers are going on cruises. Middle of the school year, taking their 7 days. Taking it. Because teachers are not staying in school 38 years and 30 years like they used to when we were kids in the 70s and 80s. They're not staying in school. They're doing 7 to 10 years average and getting the hell out. A lot of them going into corporate America or they go into nonprofits on their own, or becoming DJs, I guess. They doing anything other than being teachers in these damn classrooms. And that's so bad because our kids are really not benefiting from teacher fatigue. It's so unfortunate. And I hate that for them. But also, I don't want to see grown people's lives and reputations ruined because unruly children aren't taught at home. And these parents suck with a capital S. They're awful, neglectful sons of bitches. They're terrible. And they literally send their awful child to school. Let me tell y'all something. Now, I'm going down a rabbit hole. And on Black History Month, all this is going on Black History Month. Y'all know these little bastards. I've seen them get out of cars. Parents drop them off, mamas drop them off. They wear blankets, instead of coats. They wear blankets to school, and they walk up and down the hall with blankets around with a backpack on. And they wear pajamas. Not all the schools, but a lot of schools. Pajamas. I saw a young man with pajama, a bonnet on, and slides, just walking down the hall. I said, "Damn, the principal ain't gonna do nothing about this." And you know what I stopped doing after the first week or 2 weeks into the year? I like, okay, they ain't got nothing to do with me. My job is to make sure the kids are safe and hell quiet in my class. And then when I come in as the sub, I said, "This is what your teacher left. This is what your teacher left. Blah 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 blah. You go ahead and take care of that. I'll do what I need to do." And I throw a little humor in there. I said, "Hey, if you have any questions, any substitute teacher questions, I am an all-knowing sub. Please feel free to ask me anything under the sun, and I think I can answer at least 87 to 89% of those questions." And then I go sit my ass down and get on my laptop and listen to music. Well, I'll read a book that I brought, but yeah. And so let me go back. I'm about to tell you some of the nonsense that I hear when the kids be talking. All they talk about is sex and who's dating who and who's gay, who ugly, who fat, and all that stuff. And all they do is talk about dating and all that, and the weird way in which they do it, and they talk about sex all day long. I just shake my head. Uh, but I heard some little black girls in this one particular school. I can't believe it. This one little black girl, it was one, two, three little black girls teaching this heavier, chunky little black girl. They were literally giving her a tutorial on how to be a stud. Yeah, you heard me. They would give pointers and tips on how to be a stud. First, I only interrupted the conversation because one of the little black girls said, "See, these niggas be cheating on you. When a nigga cheat on you," I said, "Ho, baby, wait a minute. Wait, baby, wait. They talk like that in here." But then the one, two, the third little black girl, there was one beside her, then the third little black girl said, "No, mister." I'm gonna tell y'all something about that in a second. "No, mister, they be acting like such bitches. They be lying." Now these are 15-year-old girls talking like 30-year-old, 35, 40-year-old women. I said, "Sweetheart, that's not the point nor the issue. The issue is how come you can't say these boys lie, these boys cheat? Why do you have to use the N-word? Why do you have to refer to them as a racial slur?" Then they look cross-eyed like, "That's a racial slur? Oh my goodness. Clutching pearls. Yes, that's a racial slur, you little slow child." And so, and so, they get that together. Then I sit back and I grab my popcorn 'cause I want to hear the rest of this foolishness. And so the little girl, and please, those of you who are like it in here, please smash that like button. I appreciate it. And so the little girl proceeded to say, "No, what you do? See, you can shave your hair off, or you like wear braids, and or get some braids." I'm talking about, I guess, synthetic braids with fake hair, and don't wear them too short, like wear about around your shoulders. Girl, be cute, but yeah, that's how you do it. I said, "Oh my God." Yeah, literally teaching. And she's a little chunky girl. And anyway, and then some little goofy little black boy, he got up, walked across class. "She don't like boys. No way, mister. No, mister. She don't like boys." And she looked back like, "You don't know what I like him." Blah, blah. Then they went to, I guess they thought they were whispering, but I heard everything. My little ears get big. I'm like, what the hell? Where are these people's parents? Where are the role models? But then the music in the movies, that's what they promote: homosexuality, lesbianism, and then these grown black women beating up on black men, talking crazy about it. Well, now your teenage daughters can't stand boys, as they're being sexually promiscuous with the same boys they can't stand. No, just like the grown women. I mean, N-words ain't ish, but y'all pregnant. That's weird. But listen, for them, like I saw a meme that says for there to be so many men who ain't shit, it's sure a lot of pregnancies going on. And that is weird. So, yeah, this is what I listen to. And so this is what I also do to my students. I say this. I said, I put my name on the board because in orientation, I know years ago they taught us this, but I think it's the same thing. It applies today. You go in the classroom, of course, introduce yourself. Before they come in, though, I'll have a few minutes to get myself together, to walk around the classroom, see what the teacher left for them to do, and find my place behind the teacher's desk. And first thing I do is look for all the sockets, the plugs, where I can plug on my phone and my laptop. And so I take all my stuff out. My snacks remain in my bag until I start snacking, before they get there. And I love planning periods. I'm gonna get to that in a second. So uh, I put my name on the board, blah blah blah, and I would say, "Y'all, my name is Mr. Rivers." Yes, not Mister, because if those of you ever subbed, if you've ever been a teacher in today's times, within the last 10 years or so, you notice that these children don't even like to use full sentences or refer to you by your full title. They say Mr. or Miss. Is mainly the Mexican Hispanic students start that crap. Then the black kids start doing that mess. So all of them do it. Mr., Miss. And I tell them, my name is not Mr. I have a whole full name, Mr. Rivers, my last name. That's who I am, Mr. Say the whole thing. And I said, when you call me Mr., I'm not some stranger on the street that you're trying to get $1 from. And I'll just look. You're not like you bumming change. Hey, Mister. No, no. And then I asked some students. I said, "Do y'all know the difference between Ms. and Mrs.?" Like, yeah. I said, "Well, what is it?" One is Mrs. is like she's married, and the other is like she's not. So okay. So how come y'all call everybody Miss? Hey, Miss. No, she might want to be Mrs. Butler or Ms. Davis. They all just kind of looked at me with these doughy deer in the headlight looks. I said, they don't teach these children shit. They don't require nothing from these kids. But see, now I'm looking like, wow. And I let them know, I said, look, I'm Gen X. We didn't do all that. And so I'm bringing Gen X. But I tell them respectfully, I am aware of of today's context in which things are done. I'm aware of that. So yeah, it's I enjoy it. It's fun. It's cool. Give you a chance. And I was about to say how I love you have 29 people here. So can I get 10 of y'all to hit that like button? That'll be great. Um I would say that I love planning periods. And sometimes I may come in into him things sleepy. And just so happen when I get this teacher's class, she has a whole empty first. That's an hour and 30 minutes that I get to like, oh, okay. Thank God I get in there, man, I be nodding off. Sometimes I don't get to have the whole first period because some teacher next door, some teacher come in there. I'm Mrs. Such and Such friend next door, and she gave me this. I said, okay, all right, thank you so much. Oh, you're wonderful. I really appreciate it. Wow, you've been a big help. Now leave. Get the fuck out of here. I'm trying to at least get 30 minutes of shut eye before these doggone kids come. And then they may have it either in the of course, the morning, the first period, or that third period. They may have it, and sometimes, one time, let's say school let out at 3 o'clock. They didn't have a fourth period class or last period class. I got to leave the school at 1 o'clock. Oh man. But I got lucky because sometimes if they don't have like a final period, that's their planning period, the principal will call you or text me. Um, there's a teacher that got sick. Would you mind going in and filling in for that class? No, damn. So they take your planning period and stick you somewhere. You don't always get that lucky, but I always appreciate those planning periods. Cause I sit in that classroom and I just doze on off. So it's it's some benefits to it. But I've been asked a few times, the students and those who really like me appreciate my class. So you ever thought about becoming like a permanent teacher? I said, I'm so sorry. I can't do that. I like this part. Cause I do other stuff too. But I said, no, no. And another teacher asked me if I was interested. And I'm like, no, because I don't like y'all go to too many meetings for me. I be at 3 o'clock. I'm trying to hit the door with the students. I don't want to stay out of school, do no meetings. I don't want to fill out no damn reports and this, that. I just rather sub and go home. And that's why I am in my life and career. I've been in my career for like 27 years and working in treatment centers as a counselor. 27 years. I'm past that paperwork. I just want to come in, do my thing, and go. But so I appreciate those who still hanging in as teachers. So, but anyway, I'm just talking about all that shit. But I appreciate y'all. And again, Black America, we're responsible for Black History Month. And because corporate America is obviously put its concentration on other things. And it's not Black history. And that's our job. You know what else is our job real quick, black folks? We talking about the low enrollment rates in these HBCUs. We got 44, 45 million black folks in this country. Why the hell, how come all 100 HBCUs don't have waiting lists? You have 2.9 million black kids attending historically white colleges and universities or predominantly white institutions, but only 248 to 249,000 black kids attending HBCUs. See, Dr. Claude Anderson talks about how a lot of us behave in such an inappropriate way. We're being so inappropriate under so-called under racism white supremacy. Inappropriate. All the stuff, not doing the stuff that we can do. We can do a whole lot of stuff that would benefit us, but we won't do it. We won't teach our own kids like we should be. There are Jewish and Catholic academies all over the place. Instead of that, we sticking our kids in these Christian schools, mainly white folks, and they're ruining your kids. Sticking them in these goddamn Catholic private schools, ruining your kids. No, as it relates to their brain power, who they are, sucking all the blackness and self-respect or the love of self out of them. Yeah, they getting good grades and all that, but the culture, none. You don't want to put them in these public schools like they find the worst of the worst to send public schools. And nobody wants their kids to go through that crap every day. And so, you know, we're responsible. We're going to have to do better in 2026. And let's get back to reading. God, we're responsible for us, but we don't appear to be doing a great job. You have to get your ass off social media and get back into the streets. To help us, not to be for no damn anybody else, no other groups, but for us. That's what we need to be doing. But anyway, so man, Rico, who's that? Tina, she said, I agree with you. I appreciate it. And so I'm going to go ahead and go. I got 14 likes. That's cool. Could get a few more. But by the way, when y'all hang up or you leave or whatever, just share the video. Y'all be cool. It's your man, Rico the Opinionist. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.